Welcome back to another episode of Q&A where I casually discuss topics that you guys ask about, and today I have a very fascinating one that just shattered my mind. Instead of picking a question from my recent post to discuss as I usually do for these Q&A videos, I had the urge to scroll back a couple months ago to try and find a very fascinating question that I potentially missed, and I found a mind-shattering question about a topic that I looked into months ago. So this person commented their question under a video I made almost a year ago titled, "Their Worm Never Dies." It was a video about parasites potentially being some kind of demonic tool or conduit, and the effects that parasites have on our overall bodies and minds. So this person wrote, "The parasite thing makes me wonder if there are other microorganisms that might be similar, like what about harmful yeast spores or black mold? If cordyceps can solve mazes, and the trees in a forest can communicate with each other through the beneficial mycorrhizae growing on their roots, what else can fungus do? You know how when a house has a colony of black mold living in it, it almost feels like there's a presence to it? It made me wonder if the tiny mold spores have joined forces in some kind of hive mind and have become like their own little animal. Can mold have its own spiritual energy?" Wow, what a question, and this is also something I looked into a while ago and I'm currently still looking into. It is a very mind-shattering topic, and I eventually plan on making a longer video on this topic. I've actually collected a bunch of information on this specific topic of fungus, demons, and its effects on the world. Today I'm just going to briefly talk about this topic and save the details for a future video. Mushrooms, mycelium, fungus is super interesting for many reasons. One of them being fungus's connections to mythology. I myself am a big mythology nerd and I read a lot of different mythologies about various topics, and one of the topics I did study was fungus. Some cultures actually view mushrooms as symbols of immortality or bridges between the mortal world and the realm of the spirits. Fairy rings are one of these myths that you can find in folklore concerning the connection between spirits and fungus. In some myths, these mushroom fairy rings are believed to be portals to another world, dwelling places of fairies, or even signs of good luck and fertility. In some other pagan myths, you also have mushrooms connected to specific gods. In Aztec mythology, there is a god that's the god of hallucinatory plants, including mushrooms, another connection to fungus and demonic spirits. So again, this is just a few examples of comparative myths that are associating mushrooms, fungus with spirits, demonic spirits, gods, fairies, which are also demonic spirits. And back to your point about black mold in a home and how it can feel as if there's a real demonic presence. There are tons of testimonies and accounts of people stating that when their homes were infested with black mold, they experienced vivid nightmares, anxiety, hallucinations, a feeling of a real demonic presence in the house. That also ties into some other myths suggesting that when there's a demonic presence within a home, it often leaves behind a bunch of black mold. Like if a place is severely haunted, more than likely you will find black mold. Even scripture has a lot of interesting things to say about fungus, yeast, mold. In the book of Leviticus, if a home was infested with mold, a priest would go in and examine it to see how much the mold has spread in the house, and that if it's a persistent defiling mold, the house would be considered unclean. There's also a theory I came across a long time ago on 4chan called the cosmic death fungus. And it's a pretty dark, terrifying theory and very surreal, and it states that various species of alien-like fungus are not just simple organisms, but highly intelligent and parasitic entities. But again, I'll get into the details of all this in a future video. There's just so much information that I collected on this topic that I need to re-examine and put it in a video. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Wanted to leave you with some food for thought concerning the topic of mold, fungus, mushrooms. There's so much to be said, and I will be working on a future video. But let me know your honest thoughts in the comments section below. If you enjoy these Q&As and videos, please like, share, and comment. I'll see you guys soon. Till next time.